I get it, you're looking for a cash handling tool that actually makes your day easier, not just a gadget that flashes a lot of tech specs on the box. You've probably already seen a handful of counters that promise 6-point counterfeit detection or dual user operation, and wondered if any of them truly hold up when you're counting a stack of mixed bills on the floor of a small shop or in the back office of a bustling event. The fear of spending a few $100s on a machine that ends up being more of a headache than a help is real, especially when you have to juggle multiple currencies, keep track of serial numbers for audit trails, and still stay within a tight budget. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's break down the AccuBANKER AB ValueSwitch and see whether it lives up to those concerns and who would actually benefit from it. First off, this is a mixed bill counter that also prints serial numbers, has a touchscreen interface, and can switch between US dollars and euros on the fly. It's built to handle up to 6 different operating modes: countly, dispense, reject, serial capture, and a couple more that are useful for specialized workflows. What that means in practice is you can set it up once for a cash and drawer, then flip a setting when you need to pull out specific denominations for a payout, or when you're auditing a batch of bills for serial numbers after a large transaction. If you run a small to medium retail space, a food truck, a charity booth, or even a local theater box office, the day-to-day reality is you're dealing with a chaotic mix of crumpled 20s, fresh 10s, and sometimes foreign notes that slip through the register. The ValueSwitch's touchscreen makes mode changes feel almost as intuitive as swiping through a phone app. You tap, count, drop the bundle, and the machine instantly reports the total value on the screen while also printing a receipt that includes each bill's serial number. That printed record can be a lifesaver during end-of-day reconciliations, especially if you're required to maintain a paper trail for compliance reasons. Now, let's talk about the counterfeit detection side. This unit uses 5 different detection methods: UV, MG, IR, magnetic, and size analysis to flag suspect notes. In my testing scenario, I threw in a mix of genuine and a few deliberately altered bills. The machine caught the altered ones and routed them to the reject pocket without stopping the count. That's a real advantage over a basic counter that just tallies everything and leaves you to spot fakes later. The reject pocket is sizable enough for a decent batch, but you do have to remember to empty it regularly. Otherwise, you'll get a jam that can halt the whole process. One of the hidden trade-offs is the serial number printer. The built-in printer is great for creating a quick audit log, but the paper rolls are specific to the model and can be a bit pricey if you're printing a lot of receipts daily. If you only need serial numbers for occasional large deposits, it's fine. If you're planning on printing a receipt for every single transaction, the consumable cost starts to add up. Also, the printer is a thermal type, so you'll want to keep it out of direct sunlight and high-heat areas to avoid faded prints. Dual user operation is another feature that sounds fancy until you see how it works. You can program 2 separate user profiles, each with its own set of limits, currency settings, and access codes. In a busy office where a manager and a cashier both need to run the machine, this prevents one person from accidentally overriding the other's preferences. The catch is that setting up those profiles takes a few minutes the first time, and the interface isn't as polished as a smartphone app. There are a handful of menu layers you have to navigate. Once you've gotten past that initial learning curve, however, the system is solid and you won't have to worry about someone accidentally switching to dispense mode while you're trying to count. So, who should actually buy the ValueSwitch? If you handle mixed denominations on a regular basis, need a reliable way to log serial numbers for audits, and work with both USD and Euro, this is one of the few machines in its price range that bundles those capabilities together. Small businesses that accept foreign currency, like tourist-focused souvenir shops or border town cafes, will appreciate the quick currency toggle without needing a separate counter for each. Event organizers who need to dispense exact change on the spot also get a leg up, because the dispense mode can push out a specific amount of cash into a separate tray, cutting down on manual counting errors. On the flip side, if you're a solo freelancer who only counts one currency and never needs serial numbers, you'll probably be overpaying for features you'll never use. Likewise, if you're looking for a high-throughput counter that can process thousands of notes per minute for a bank-scale operation, the ValueSwitch's counting speed, while respectable for its class, won't match.